In this video, we're going to have a look at advanced filtering for text, numbers, and dates. So advanced filtering for text gives you a few options. And these are similar options you may have had in Excel. So does the string contain or not contain certain words or letters? Does it start with or does not start with certain words? So for instance, we can say, does it contain the word, or the letter W, say? And you can see 3 of them contain W, some at the start, some at the beginning. Does it begin with the letter W? So I'll click on Apply Filter, and you can see we're down to 2. Is it? So I'm going to put, is it West Midlands? Or is it not West Midlands? Is it blank or is it not blank? So quite useful, for instance, suppose you have a list of employees' names and you wanted to find all of those who had a middle initial or who didn't have a middle initial. Now, suppose you wanted anything, I'll just get rid of that filter, anything which has the letter W and it's followed at some point with the letter M. Well, this is when we can use wildcards. So I'm just going to try W asterisk M and apply that filter. And you can see it works. So the asterisk is exactly the same as it is in Excel and in Windows Explorer. We have exactly the same sort of wildcards. The asterisk as a star is 0 to infinity characters. So if we had W star E, then it would pick up both West Midlands and Wear and Tyne and West Yorkshire because it's W followed by E with 0 to infinity characters afterwards. So here there are 0 characters in between. Similarly, we can have W question mark S. Here the question mark stands for a single character. So it doesn't stand for 0, doesn't stand for 2, it's strictly standing for 1. Now we can combine this. So we can have all of those that contains the word West and all of those that contains the word Midlands. So needless to say, there'll be only one. But it could be that we have a bigger data source with the East Midlands, for instance. So just filtering by Midlands wouldn't have been sufficient. Alternatively, you could have something that includes West or includes Manchester. So that would expand the filter to include both West Midlands, West Yorkshire and Greater Manchester. So the or is restrictive, the and is restrictive, the or is expansive. So the and narrows down your filter, the or includes other options. Now, you can, of course, use the advanced features, not just in the visual level filters, but also in the page level filters and in the report level filters. Now let's have a look at examples for dates. So we don't have any dates in here, so I'm going to click on this visualization and have a look at the date year here. So we have the basic filtering, which gets us to individual years. And because we're looking at years, we're really looking at numbers. So let's see what the advanced filtering is for numbers. And we have probably what you'd expect. Is less than or equal to. Is greater than or equal to. Is exactly. Is not exactly. Is blank and is not blank. So, for instance, suppose I wanted all of the years between 2000 and 2009. Well, I can say is greater, there isn't a between, you'll notice. So I have to say is greater than or equal to 2000 and is less than or equal to 2009. So that gets the equivalent of a between. So between 2000 and 2009. So now you can see it starts at 2000, goes all the way to 2009. We also have is not, is blank, and is not blank. So that's what numbers are, which is really what this is. But what about if we were to put in a date photo? Now, firstly, we have got two visual level photos already, but we can add a third. So these are the columns that we've set up, but I'm going to add a third photo just by dragging it into that sort of area, and it gets added. And it's the same for page and reports. Level photos. You can have multiple photos just by clicking them nearby. So a date photo, advanced photo, you can show items when the value is exactly, or is after, or is on or after, or is before, or is on or before, or is blank, or is not blank. Now, there's just one word of warning with this. Let's say I wanted everything in the 2000 to 2009 range. And this computer is set up in the American date format, and you can see that with MDY, month, day, year. So I'm going to say it's got to be between, so it's got to be on or after the 1st, 2000, and has to be on or before the 12th of the 31st, 12th month, 31st date, so December 31, 2009, and apply the photo. And the photo appears to work, and it does work in this particular instance. But the complication is that we have this time. So let's just have a think about some of the dates. So January the 1st, 2000, that will be covered. January the 1st, 2001, that will be covered. January 1st, 2010, that won't be covered because that is not on or before the 21st, December the 31st, 2009. December the 31st, 2009. That may or may not be covered. And the reason is, suppose this was, say, a list of orders and the date that the order was received. So let's say an order was received on January the 1st, 2000 at 12 midnight. Well, that's fine. It's on or after the 1st of the January 2000, 12 a.m. Suppose it happened at 1. That's still fine. 2, 3, all of the other time are fine. Similarly, at January the 1st, 2010, midnight would be afterwards, 1 a.m. would be afterwards. But let's consider December the 31st, 2009. If it's 12 midnight, that's fine. It is on or before December 31st, 2009, and we see a time. But what if it was on 1 a.m.? Well, that is not on or before the 12th, December the 31st, 2009 at midnight, and that would be excluded. So this is a bit of a danger of setting is on or after and is on or before for dates. Now, what you could do is say make it 11:59 p.m., but I wouldn't even do that. Simply because what if it's 11:59 and so seconds? It will probably be caught by this photo, but I want to be 100% sure. So what I use is before, and reset the time, is before January the 1st, 2010. So in other words, it goes from January 1, 2000 to January 1, 2010, but don't include January 1, 2010. So that includes December the 31st all the way up to 11:59 p.m. So just a word of warning, when you get close to this end bit, it really makes a big difference what you have put. Is before, it's on or before, so just make sure you're not being caught out. There is one other type of advanced filtering, I would say, and it's called relative date filtering. And that says, I want to see items which are in the last or in the next 30 days, weeks, calendar weeks, months, years. So anything which is in the last 30 days, anything which is in the last 4 weeks, anything which is in the last year. And you can include today or not as you see fit. So I want anything which has been in the last, I'll say, 5 years. And then if you run this next year, you'll find 2014 gets excluded and any new data might get included. So that is the advanced filtering for text, numbers, and dates. So you can say, is it within a range? Is it before? Is it after? Or is it exactly this? And with text, you can also use the wildcards question mark for one character and star for multiple characters.